Lagos, good afternoon. I am Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts. First hard fact of the day. It's 9:30. That's the number of new COVID-19 cases confirmed by the NCDC yesterday. These daily numbers are climbing. So please, Lagos, I take God beg you, be careful out there. Wear your mask. Don't make unnecessary trips. Keep social distance. We do have some good news on the COVID front. The NIMR says that they've developed a faster COVID-19 test. NIMR is the Nigerian Institute for Medical Research. They say that this test can give results in 57 minutes, so an hour. And it can process hundreds of tests at once. So hopefully, as suspect cases keep increasing, we're not going to have a backlog of tests anymore. The second hard fact of today, border closure is over. I brought you that story yesterday while we were on air during the big hard fact. The ban on rice imports is still on. I hear that that's still on, but the president has ended the general border closure. Now, it's not one of our topics today. It's not one of our big three topics today, but I'm going to let you talk about it whenever you call. So you can tell me what you think about this border closure policy. Now that they've reopened it, do you think that they've made the right call? Was it a good idea to close it to begin with? Do you think that the reasons they closed it worked? Now, I'm going to need you to come with facts, of course. So if you're saying, for instance, that it worked, give me specific facts and figures for what has improved since August 2019. If you're saying it failed, tell me specifically what has gotten worse, right? If you don't bring your facts, I'm not going to let you land. I'll keep arguing with you. You know how I am. So that's something that you can do throughout the show today. But it's not one of our topics. It's not on the big three, for instance, because on today's big three, we're talking about the House of Reps saying that they wanted to link SIMs to NIN because of NSAS. And then let's talk about the latest from Kankara. Then let's talk about the International Criminal Court announcing that it is investigating crimes in Nigeria. You can expect that I will bring the facts on those stories. Now, remember, you can talk to us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM. You can also share your thoughts via WhatsApp. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. And definitely watch on Facebook, watch on YouTube as well. Facebook is Nigeria Info 99.3. YouTube is Nigeria Info FM. Today is Thursday, and like I hinted yesterday, we're bringing you League of Extraordinary Nigerians as always. And after that, we're going to bring you Eyewitness. On Eyewitness, you tell us what's happening in your part of Lagos. You become our reporter on Nigeria Info. And of course, there's news updates coming your way at the top of every hour. But before all of that, we'll bring you the big hard fact. On today's big hard fact, we'll take a look at March 2020. We started our review of this amazing year. Some people are hearing me say amazing. Well, for some people it was probably amazing, but we're doing a review of the year 2020. We did January on Tuesday, we did February yesterday, and today we're going to take a look at the biggest stories from March. So if you remember any big story that you really wanted to talk about at the time but did not get the chance to, today is a good day to call in at 5 and let us know which ones you thought were the biggest stories of March 2020. But let's bring you today's big three.
This is the Big Three.
The Big Three. On Hard Facts.
On 99.3 Nigeria Info.
How many NINs can NIMC issue in 9 working days? Because remember, we've not had them postpone that thing yet. You know, right? How many Kankara boys are home safe? How should Nigerians respond to the ICC's investigation? Those are the big three, Lagos. Let's talk. So, for our first story, we've got only 9 working days left before SIMs without NINs must be deactivated. That's our first story. Yesterday, I did the math for you. If NIMC wants to get every phone user an NIN by December 30th, they need to issue about 1 million numbers a day. Now, I wonder, did they issue 1 million numbers yesterday? What do you think? Now they're getting some help. Yesterday, the government announced that 176 private organizations are being commissioned to issue NINs. So now you don't have to go to NIMC office to get one. You can go to any of these 176 centers or 30 government agencies, including NIPOST. NIPOST has offices in one. So say that, and the other government agencies, we have 5 centers nation issue NIN. To process 1 million applications a day, one would need to handle 200 a day on average. Working 8 hours a day, that's more 30 an hour. That's one application, 2 minutes. So again, I ask you the same question I asked you. Yes, do you plan that? Also, the question of what these are inventory. Will the rural area enough of their GSM penetration or not? I told you yesterday was asking extended deadline weeks. They are also now saying that this exercise is cause of us. What Ndulu says, the House Minority Leader. He said, quote, just yesterday, the NDC rolled out and the issue is actually happening in Nigeria, rising but during NSAS, when Hood terrorized people in public office, which was a Trump. And stated that we should try as much as possible that all the service providers get all this registered and test all of the information. Then have a national identifier and you'll take the telecom service provider to register it. But we can say that having given that session on that limiting process to only 2 weeks. Period that we are in, it will be almost impossible for 200 million Nigerians to meet the line. Hence this motion. It's not saying that we're condemning it. It's strict for NCC to extend to quote. Now, a couple of things. First of all, remember the NCC had said the exercise was about combating. But now we're hearing the House of Reps that they told NCC to do this day. House members calls from the public and who was calling them. What is that? We send NCC. We don't say they go do this deadline. What did they do? You should point away that Intermediate Communications Minister, Mr. Thierry, yes, as well. Nigerians believe, and I said this all yesterday, COVID-19 and the lockdown, Nigerians expected to have gotten their NIN for a year, especially given how slow the process within NIMC. But that's a side argument. Heard what Emelu said. What do you think I was asking NCC to take this action because of SARS? Notice that they're not saying it was about bomb bandits or kidnappers. And what do you think about the possibility? It can actually be made 9 workers, actually 8, because today don't finish 4 o'clock. So today don't finish. Wrong. That government announced that 106 privatizations are being issued, and they're also using NIPOST as well. NIPOST has post offices nationwide, and I did them for you because remember we did that by December 30 we'll need about number 30, right? And I was asking that they can issue 8 a day. Then with more math, some places to say 5,000 centers, and they would have to issue 2 on average. Working hours a day, more than applications an hour. That one application, it's. Do you think we can get 700 993 993 993 WhatsApp 597580? Focus. How are you? What's your name?
Yeah, good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Ruben.
You're sounding very long.
Hello, can you hear me now, ma'am?
Yeah.
Wow, I never knew politician God.
Okay.
Seriously, like so this all around from me to any time. So for one Senate leader or for one Senate or whoever or one kind of wow, I really new. I want to have this question, man. Are you there, man?
I'm here.
If I do not register for the NILA and this audience, hope my account will be affected.
Well, I don't will be, but block your number, and if you block it, you have to do mobile banking. Probably not receive when you have transactions because that SIM card has been blocked.
And we here just keeping quiet. We're not doing anything. We are going there.
Well, you're doing something. You're talking about it.
It's not really about talking enough. Well, thank you very much
For calling us. 99.3. Hello.
Hello, Sandra.
How are you, sir?
My name is John.
John, welcome.
Yeah, I don't have more to say. I won a game that was on 8th of July.
Okay. What's your surname?
My name is Arobundade Abodun John.
Stay on the line. Stay on the line so that we can So your name is... Can you hear me? I'm not sure if you can hear me or... Hold on. Can you hear me? Oh, fantastic. Okay, so you're... Okay, can I get your details, please? Also your full name. Can you spell that, please? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Okay. John. What's your account number? 010, huh? 2, uh-huh. Okay, and what's your phone number? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Say that again. 0350. Say the rest of the numbers for me, please. I see. Okay, and you won in June? July 8th. Okay, so what we're going to do is take a look at our records and just check, and then what you're saying, and what you're saying checks out, you get. Apologies about that, okay?
No problem.
All right, John. Thanks for calling. 99.3, hello.
Good afternoon, Sandra.
Sir, what's your name?
My name is.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah. At least for once, at the House of Representatives, a good one there, because we need this national identity number for a lot of. And so, advance to please cooperate. But that then, they will still have to look to, because the places they are doing it, they are cutting Nigerians, and they have to look to that angle very well.
How starting Nigerians?
They will, after they have them and gotten all the information from them, then they not release the number on time. It is only those who can get money.
I see.
That's what they do.
Did this happen to...
It happens to somebody took down there.
Okay.
And even I was approached by that local government staff. You know, they are already in local government. That's Jeremy. I was approached that if I want it to be done fast, I should bring a certain amount.
How much did they ask you to bring?
I think it was around 10,000.
They told you to bring 10,000 if you want to get it quickly.
Yes.
And you have someone who paid that 10,000 and got theirs quickly.
No, I refuse. So up till now, they have not given that number to the person I took down.
Do you know the name of the person that asked for that bribe?
I don't know. They're just like all these, what they call them, all these people that just hang around.
I see.
I don't know anybody that does.
Is it possible that person was just trying to scam you, and that person did not work for NIMC?
No, they will do the work. When we first of all got there, they said we should go and get the form that everything is free. At the end of the day, they said we should go to a business center and get the form. Which means we have to use money to photocopy it. What they said is free. And it's written on the form that it's not for sale, that you shouldn't pay for anything. But they are using a lot of tricks to collect money.
I see. And where did this happen to you? You said this happened where?
At Jeremy, that's at Jeremy local government.
At Jeremy local government. All right.
Yes.
Thank you for calling to and sharing this with me. If you've had a similar experience as well with trying to get your NIMC, please also share with us on the show today on 99.3 Nigeria Info. If you just joined the show, hello to you. You're listening to Hard Facts on 99.3 Nigeria Info. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. We start the day by sharing the biggest stories of the day so far with you. And we told you that you've got 9 days left before your SIM, if it doesn't have an NIN, will be deactivated. The federal government announced yesterday that you have to register, you have to link your SIM card with your NIN number by December 30th. They announced it in February, to be fair, but the deadline is in 2 weeks' time. I told you that 176 organizations, private organizations, are being, what's the word I'm looking for now, are being commissioned to issue these NINs, and I'll tell you more after this break.
Continues to expand the frontiers of professionalism in the media industry. In celebration of its members and in recognition of best practices over the year, the Lagos chapter of the NIPR would be hosting the Lagos Public Relations Industry Gala Awards La Priga 2020 on the 19th of December 2020. This year's awards event is themed Culturati, as it would be a fusion of African cultures and traditions with foreign influences, marking Nigeria's 60th independence, with guests adorning their African, Western, Arabian, and Asian garbs. The event, which would hold at the Shell Hall of the Muson Center, would be a night of elegance, joy, class, and celebration exclusively for the communications industry with the most influential stakeholders. Over 30 honorees from the public relations consultancies, practitioners, stakeholders, and the media will smile away with the prestigious La Priga organization's CSR initiatives. About 300 leading communication professionals in consultancies, government and non-for-profit organizations, captains of industries, media personalities, and C-suite executives from across various sectors and industries are expected to attend. The 2020 edition of La Priga would sure be an exciting one. For enquiries, please call 080-3322-5251. 080-3322-5251.
More news and information coming up. We'll be back in a moment. Are you wondering what to do this festive season? Are you looking for ways to give your family an exciting holiday experience? Are you looking for a movie with comedy, love, surprise, suspense, intrigue, action, and all your favorite actors in one place? Your search is over! Scene One Productions, in conjunction with Red Brick Homes Limited, presents you the most anticipated movie in 2020, Omoghetto the Saga. Produced and directed by Funke Akindele Bello and JJC Skills. This blockbuster is set to hit the cinemas nationwide from the 25th of December 2020. Yes, Christmas Day! Without any hesitation, take your family and friends to any cinema near you and watch this breathtaking movie before anyone beats you to it. So save the date and set your reminders. Omoghetto the Saga is definitely a movie you don't want to miss. Our holiday is about to be lit! Everyday news brief.
The Nigerian Communications Commission has ordered mobile network operators
Shaping our present and the future.
The vast majority of men and women of the police force are hardworking and diligent in performing their duties.
Policies and its makers.
I have been crying out. What is there in our time now is that the cost of government is too much.
Community and the dwellers.
Stop playing the ostrich. I came here now and the officers are saying I cannot exercise my rights.
We bring them all to you. The news on Nigeria Info. Top of the hour, every hour. Nigeria Info News. Let's talk. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Your number one station for talk. Let's talk.
This is the Big Three.
The Big Three.
On Hard Facts. On 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Our first story on today's Big Three. Only 9 working days left before SIMs without NINs must be deactivated. I gave you some maths when we launched earlier on. I told you that they'll need to register 1 million numbers a day. They'll need to issue 1 million numbers a day if they're going to meet their target of registering at least 100 million Nigerians in 10 days. And that included yesterday, by the way. Do you think that they registered 1 million numbers yesterday? I also told you that they've approved 176 private organizations to issue NINs. They're also using post offices nationwide. We've got 3,000 NIPOST offices nationwide. And if you say between NIPOST and the government agencies, we have 5,000 centers nationwide issuing NINs, they would have to process at least 250 people a day on average. 250 a day on average. if they had at least 5,000 centers issuing 1 million applications, taking a look at 1 million applications every day. And if you're working 8 hours a day, more than 30 applications an hour, one application every 2 minutes. Do you think we can do this in the time frame that the government has allocated? I also told you before the break that the House of Reps asking the NCC to extend their deadline by 8 weeks happened while they were hearing the pains of Nigerians when this news broke. The House of Reps also said that the reason they want this exercise to happen is because of NSAS. Ndudi Elumelu, the House Minority Leader, said that during the NSAS protests, when hoodlums were using SIM cards to abuse and terrorize people in public office without being able to ascertain or track them, NCC was mandated that they should try as much as possible to ensure that all service providers get all SIM cards registered. So we have the NCC telling Nigerians that this reason was this exercise is to combat insecurity. Now we have the House of Reps saying that they told the NCC to do it because they, the House members, were getting calls from the public and they did not know who was calling them. And then the House said, yes, we told them to do it, but we didn't tell them to do it in 2 weeks. But I also pointed out that Issa Pantami, the communications minister, mentioned this December deadline in February. But some Nigerians believe that there was COVID-19, there was lockdown. Nigerians should not have been expected to get their NINs for much of the year, especially given how slow the process is from within NIMC. Now, some of you have alleged corruption in the process. Has that been your experience? Do you know people who have been extorted while trying to get their NIN numbers or ID cards? Because it should be free. It's a process that should be entirely free of charge. 0700-993-993-993. Let's get your thoughts now. Hello. Call back if you can. Sorry about that. 99.3. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, welcome.
This is Jeff.
Jeff, welcome.
This, for my own opinion, is that for me, it can work out.
Okay.
If Nigeria can understand that we Nigerians we love money. If they would do this program of theirs for every individual registering his national identity number, each registration will cost 20 naira if you register one. Sandra, I bet you 9 days we are done.
Okay.
The moment they say for free. Forget it. They'll just take it and play politics.
Okay.
This is Nigeria for you. My own problem is that I can't imagine being big common Nigerian citizen of Nigeria. We don't even have any right or any way to even hold this government responsible. In each and every way, they have a way to slack. Cut us off. The public are calling the House of they are complaining. I call my own candidate. How far you go do my own thing for me, for our community? You say, why I call you? It's insane for me. So now they want to cut another slack again. We cannot get to them. It's not fair. They are holding us so bad that we go very soon. We'll be lost in our own country. That is my take on this issue.
Jeff, thank you so much for calling to share your opinion. 99.3, hello.
Hello.
How are you,
Sandra?
sir? What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Ayokule.
Welcome.
Okay, yeah, so I have a few things to say about this ID card thing. First, the whole process obviously is just set up to frustrate the Nigerians again. So today I'm coming from Ekwe, where my business is, and at Ekwe local government where they are doing the registration. In the first place, the form is being sold. The form that you will fill is being sold for 100 naira. Yep, at Ekwe local government. Now, after you fill the form, you don't get your number until 21 days. That's what they're telling us today. Until at least 21 days. And guess what? The fast track service. If you pay 5,000 naira, you get your number immediately.
Are you kidding me?
We'll go there today.
This happened to you today?
My staff went there. I didn't have time. My staff went there and came back to tell me this feedback.
Okay.
So I'm most likely going to go there on Monday.
Okay.
But this was the feedback as of today.
Okay.
So it's all set up again to just frustrate the average Nigerian. But what the positive I see also out of all of this, for us Nigerians that can think deep, is the fact that the House of Reps actually can do stuff when they want to do it. So they identified, like you said, a security issue. Even though the security in this instance wasn't about the 200 million Nigerians, the security now was about the minority that is the Senate and the House of Reps. They identified a security issue and immediately they moved and responded very, very swiftly to tackle it. So this for me tells me that if we can gather ourselves together as Nigerians properly and tackle these people on the issues and hold them, find a way to hold them where it's going to hurt them, they will be able to take action on a lot of things that need to be done in this country. Because people are calling them, they are panicking. And in a swift action, they can come up with a policy that will distort 200 million Nigerians just to suit less than 1,000 people. Come on. This country is just a fraud. It's a fraud. And all those people that are sitting there in Abuja and making all these posts, and they have the audacity to even come out and say, this was the real. I mean, and we're still sitting down as a people and watching them play us. It's just a fraud. The country is a scam. The country, our leaders, they are the original Yahoo. It's a shame. Thank you, Sandra.
Thanks for calling us. Our second story is the latest from the Kankara abductions. The boys are still not home, but Governor Aminu Masari of Katsina says government knows exactly where they are. He said that to CNN. According to him, they've traced the kidnappers to their hideout and the military is on ground, but they've not attacked or fired because they want to avoid harming the children. CNN also asked him whether the government would pay a ransom. He said it's not their policy, but they're trying to find some other peaceful way to bring back the boys. Yesterday, we told you that the state government said 17 more boys had been found. And we also told you that the parents of those children have been at the school and they've still not seen the boys. That's what the cable is reporting. They're calling on the government and the army to release the names of these 17 boys whom they say have been rescued. We're going to bring you more on that when we get it. We also had our correspondent on the ground from Kano corroborating that story. We're also getting unconfirmed reports that the governor was negotiating with the kidnappers through Mieti Allah. Then we still have parents who are keeping vigil at the government science secondary school Kankara, waiting for any news of their children. And then we have reports from some of the escaped children who are giving details of their ordeal. We're getting reports of one child talking about how the gunmen led them through the bush, forced them to eat leaves and drink dirty water from the ground. So there's lots of concern about safety for the school children. And that concern is spreading to other states. So you have states like Sokoto, Zamfara, Kano State, ordering their schools to be shut, to be closed. And you know that schools have long been a Boko Haram target since they are against Western-style education. And now you have more and more Nigerians demanding to know what exactly is being done to bring these boys home. On Twitter, the hashtag #BringBackOurBoys is trending. Offline, civil society groups are beginning to mobilize earlier today on the Morning Crossfire, you heard from the Coalition of Northern Groups, for example. If you missed that interview, you can actually watch it again on our Facebook, Nigeria Info 99.3. We're hearing, by the way, BBC Hausa is reporting that the police disrupted the protest that the Coalition of Northern Groups organized this morning. So that's it. Updates about the Kankara boys' disappearance or kidnap. That's the latest. What do you think about the controversy over these children? Have they been found? Have they not been found? Where are they? Have they been rescued? What about Governor Masari's comments? He was also asked on a TV station here in Lagos about why the president hasn't visited. And he said, well, I'm not the president. I cannot speak for the president. You have to ask the president that question. 0700-993-993. You're listening to Hard Facts on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Yes, you can still talk to me about NIN. Yes, you can still talk to me about NIMSI. Yes, you can talk to me about Ndudi Elumelu's comments about talking about this process because they specifically wanted to find out the hoodlums who were calling them during the NSAS protests. 99.3. Hello. 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 All right, then. 99.3. Sorry about that. Call us back. 99.3.
Sandra, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
Austin, calling from Lekki.
Welcome, Austin.
I think there's an unconfirmed story that I'm hearing that the school boys, Kankara boys have been released. I don't know.
Yeah.
I need to get an update from you from that. I don't know whether it's true.
It's not true. We haven't gotten any official reports yet.
Yes, but if it is true, to God be the glory.
Yes,
but
sir.
if it's not true, the state government and the federal government need to buckle up and make sure that those boys are released unconditionally. Sandra, I've been weeping, I've been crying. The fate of the parents of this future generation for the past 6 days. What have they been feeding on? What kind of life are they living? In that particular place? Oh, Nigeria, things have gotten better. That to the extent that we are playing pranks with our own children. Please, I'm begging the federal government, I'm begging the state government to do everything in their power to make sure that these children of ours are released unconditionally. Please, I am begging. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you so much for calling us. Point Mark NG on Twitter says that NIMSI is collecting 2,000 naira per form at Shonle CDA by Ijede in Ikorodu, Lagos. He says he's tweeted to NIMSI about this and copied official EFCC, but no one has commented. Well, I've commented, Point Mark. Thank you for bringing this to our attention. We'd like more reports such as this, by the way. If you are at any of these NIMSI offices and Nigerians are being extorted, please report the name of the office, the name of the person, the center where that's going on. I would like to find out. Hello. Thanks for calling.
Hello.
Yes, how are you, sir?
This is Joseph from Ijegun.
Welcome.
Yes. Yeah, about the NIMSI. At Ijegun and Kotun, you go to LCD. 5,000 naira, you just collect your card and just start going on. You that even quicking, you'll be looking at other people going on. Those who are 6,000 and they just go on. They are expecting us over there also.
At Ijegun?
Yes, no, Ikotun, you go to LCDA.
I see. So if you pay 5,000, they'll give you your card.
Yes, they'll give you your number. You just start going on. While we are even kicking, we have been waiting and looking at them going on.
Interesting. All right. Thank you for bringing this to our attention. We appreciate it. 99.3. Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name, sir?
My name is Victor.
Welcome.
Nigeria, blessed country. I'm talking about the Kankara boys. I don't I'll call it a shame. And I don't know what to say to Nigerians. We've seen the type of government we have, and we've seen the type of people we have in power. They don't want to protect our interests. They just want to protect their own. They lie every now and then. Even with what is obvious, they will lie and they want Nigerians to believe. We are tired, though. We are tired. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Victor, for calling us. We've got a political therapist who says, blah, 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 I can't take that message. We've got Anfield Captain who says, so the governor knows where these children are. Why hasn't he brought them back? Well, I've told you why. He says that they cannot unleash the army where the children are because they don't want to hurt the children. Let's go to WhatsApp. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. We've got Wilson Edwards who says, good afternoon, Professor. Wow, I like that. Says, please, I've checked my NIN number on my MTN line before the lockdown and it was displayed and I wrote it down somewhere. Is that number still valid? Is it still connected to my other lines? Well, my understanding is it's connected to the one line that you used to register your BVN. So you need to go and update the other lines you have. If you have other lines, you need to register or attach your NIN, your current NIN, to those other SIM cards, those other numbers. So if you have more than one line, you have a BVN and you register the BVN with your what's the word now, with a particular line, with one of the lines you have, you probably already have an NIN number. There are codes that you can dial. For most of the networks, it's *346#. *346#. Once you dial that, you have to pay 20 naira though to find out if you have an NIN number. Now, if you have an NIN number on that particular number, great. But if you have other lines, you may find out that your NIN is not attached to those other numbers because you did not register for a BVN with those other numbers. So you may still need to go and update your information with the networks that you didn't register your BVN on. Now, someone tried to do it in Ikoyi yesterday, and according to her, they told her that she would have to go and swear an affidavit, then she would have to pay 500 naira, then she would have to now come back in line and be issued a confirmation letter by NIN, and then she would have to now take that letter to the different networks to update her records with those numbers that are not attached to her NIN. So all in all, it's a messy, long process, to be honest with you. Let's take a look at more comments that we have on WhatsApp. Hello, Sandra. The story of extortion for the NIN registration is real. My cleaner paid 6,000 naira today to get it. She was told if she wants it same day, she has to pay. If not, she should just register and go. It happened at Unilag Center. Chinedu from Yaba telling me this story. Chinedu, thanks for your message. Let's take another call. Hello. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Elias.
Welcome to the show. Go ahead.
Yeah, Sandra.
Mm-hmm.
I want to lodge a complaint about this student they pack away.
About what?
About all the students they pack away.
All the students? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, about the Kankara students.
Yes.
You see this issue, I will plead the federal government to do something tangible on this thing. This issue might get worse, especially for northern region of this nation. Because the way they carry out people, these students are we now, all those guys, they will treat all those guys for unnecessary things that will spoil things in the next few years. Assuming they didn't bring all those students now, in the next 3 years, we can't tell, we cannot see what exactly will happen, especially to northern region. So our prayer is for our government to do something tangible about it.
Thank you so much for calling. Well, they are doing their best. They know where the boys are. The army is ready to take action. They're negotiating through Mieti Allah. So we're keeping our eye on that story, and as soon as there's news to share, we will share with you. The International Criminal Court will investigate both Boko Haram and the Nigerian security forces. That's our third story. The Office of the Prosecutor made the announcement, and they said that they finished their preliminary examination of petitions from Nigeria, and that they believe that there's enough grounds for a full investigation. Now, they're investigating Boko Haram for, quote, crimes against humanity and war crimes, murder, rape, sexual slavery, including forced pregnancy and forced marriage, enslavement, torture, cruel treatment, outrages upon personal dignity, taking of hostages, intentionally directing attacks against the civilian population or against individual civilians not taking direct part in hostilities, intentionally directing attacks against personnel, installations, materials, units, or vehicles involved in a humanitarian assistance, intentionally directing attacks against buildings dedicated to education and to places of worship and similar institutions, conscripting and enlisting children under the age of 15 years into armed groups and using them to participate actively in hostilities, persecution on gender and religious grounds, and other inhumane acts, end quote. Now, Boko Haram isn't the only one that they're probing. ICC is also looking into the Nigerian military for crimes against humanity, including, quote, murder, rape, torture, and cruel treatment, enforced disappearance, forcible transfer of population, outrages upon personal dignity, intentionally directing attacks against the civilian population as such, and against individual civilians not taking direct part in hostilities, unlawful imprisonment, conscripting and enlisting children under the age of 15 years into the armed forces and using them to participate actively in hostilities, persecution on gender and political grounds, and other inhumane acts, end quote. So basically, the ICC is saying that both the military and Boko Haram are committing atrocities against Nigerians in the northeast. But Senator Ali Ndume is telling the ICC to mind its business. He's the chairman of the Senate Committee on the Army. And he said, quote, right now what the ICC is trying to do is destroying things instead of helping matters. You cannot cry more than the bereaved, and they cannot be the prosecutor without the plaintiff. How can they prosecute without the plaintiff? We have the Nigerian government, the federal parliament, and the nation's judiciary. End quote. Now, I should point out that the Nigerian government signed the Rome Statutes. I keep talking about this. By signing the Rome Statutes, the government gave the ICC the right to investigate any suspected case of crimes against humanity, whether the government wants them to or not. So, given that we are a signatory to the Rome Statutes, what do you think about Ndume telling the ICC to stay away? And yes, they're not only looking into this issue, they've also launched another preliminary examination into the Lekki shootings and the handling of NSARS. I should also point out that DJ Switch will be addressing the ICC today. They're having their assembly of state parties today to plan their activities for the next year. And DJ Switch will be there addressing them. So that's that with the ICC. What do you think of that story? What do you think about the ICC investigating both Boko Haram and the military for crimes against humanity in the northeast? And what do you think about Senator Ndume telling them not to, even though Nigeria is a signatory to the Rome Statutes? 0700-993-993 993 0700-993 993. I'll take one call, we'll take a break, and then come back and take more calls. Hello.
Hello.
Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Chukwebuka.
Welcome, Chukwebuka. Go ahead.
I'm calling about Lee Ndume's comments over the ICC's decision to investigate Boko Haram and the Nigerian army. It's quite unfortunate that we have a lot of unqualified senators in the National Assembly. I believe Ali Ndume is not properly educated. Nigeria should be what the international court is doing is long overdue. So if he's very wrong to say that the ICC is crying more than the bereaved. As the chairman of the committee of the Nigerian Armed Forces, he should have taken steps. It's a shameful thing that as a chairman, the body he's supposed to oversee what he's supposed to do is being done by the ICC. So he's wrong and he should take a seat. During the NSAS issue, he didn't make any comment. So I believe the ICC is doing a very good job.
Okay.
And I know it will end on a good note. Thank you very much.
Thanks for calling and keeping it short. We'll take that break now. And afterwards, we'll let you talk about the 3 stories we've brought you so far today.
More talk, news, and sports after this.
People of a common purpose, searching for answers. Anger and tensions rise. A nation on the verge.
The primary duty of the police and other law enforcement agencies remains the protection of lives.
People of frayed nerves.
What's going on here? Nigeria is very underdeveloped. How can we not have lights in the 21st century?
Events defining the course of humanity.
The coronavirus, also known as COVID-19, has affected the way
all on the round table. Join Sheriff Quadri, Ahoho Obo, Sandra Ezekwesili, Ufoma Egbamuno, Wemimo Adewuni, and Joyce Onyemuwa on the round table. 99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.